Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Choco. Before I start with anything, I just like to say that I'm not a migration agent or a legal expert in terms of visa applications. So please do not take whatever I say as legal advice. Mine is just a personal experience where I applied my visa application personally before. I did not use any agent. So I thought it would be a sort of an inspiration and encouragement to anyone who'd like to try that it's possible to do it on your own. These are just going to be a few tips, and I'd be happy to answer your questions if you comment down below or follow my website, which I'm going to leave on the description section of this page. Anyway, so let's start with just typing in or going to the website of the Immigration of Australia. So you can see here the immigration website of Australia. So it's here, immi.homeaffairs.gov.au. So in here you can see it's pretty much self-explanatory, but for these purposes, we need to go to the visas section where you'll find a lot of options. And as I've said, for these purposes, I'd like to go through with you regarding a working visa, a permanent working visa, rather in to come here to Australia. So, but if you're going to explore this site, you'd see that, you can come here as a worker. You can be a sponsored worker by your relative or an employer. You can bring someone here as a family, as a partner, which, I'm happy to explore this area. If you'd like me to, just comment down below. So for this particular blog, we're going to be discussing working visa, which is a permanent working visa. So you can see here that there are, a few types of visas as well. So temporary work visas, like some regional migration and like short stay work visas. But I'm going to be exploring the permanent work visas. And in particular, I'm going to be exploring this skilled independent visa, Subclass 189. So if you go click that one, you're going to see here pretty much the details. This is a snapshot, but you can see here that the cost of the visa itself to apply is 4,115 Australian dollars at this stage. And well, in the past, I remember that if they change something, it's from the 1st of July during the year. So I'd say that, as of today, so it's been updated. You can see here, 1st of July, 2021. So as of today, which is the 15th of August, 2021, these are, these details here are still valid. So if you go to the details, you can see here already that it's a points tested stream. So which means that you need to be able to meet the required points to be able to apply. And you can see here an overview of how it's like and what to do in order to apply for this type of visa. So if you're going to be looking at this, you can see here that you can check your eligibility and then which are the core or basic eligibility that you should meet to be able to apply for this visa. So if I'll come back to here, but if I just go to this part, eligibility, so you can see here straight away that you have to be able to meet this, that you need to have a suitable skills assessment from the required body, whichever course or occupation you have. And then you have to be under 45 years old to be able to apply. And then you need to be able to score 65 points or more. This one I'll be going through in a bit more detail later. And then you should have at least this level of English language, a competent English. So this means score in the IELTS of 6, at least 6 in all the components. And then you must meet the skills requirement, which means that the skill that you have or your occupation should be in the skilled occupations list for this particular visa. So if you go back to here and check this is skilled occupation list, which is going to be, for me, is the start of checking if you're going to be suitable to apply. You can see here is skilled occupation list. And if you go down here, you can type in your occupation. For instance, you want to check accountant. Here. So it says here that accountant is on the skilled occupation list that is being accepted here in Australia on these visas. So here you can see that accountant is listed under the skilled independent subclass 189 visa. So here you can see as well the assessing authority, and this would be important when we go through the process that we need to do in order to apply for a visa. So here you can type anything, or you can just simply go through all the list if you want to and check whether the occupation that you have is accepted under the visa that you'd like to apply. So yeah, so you can explore that bit as you go along. So here, so after that, we need to satisfy all the eligibility. And then here there's a step-by-step guide. So it's really helpful if you want to really read through the process, then you can do so here. So when you're ready to apply for your visa, you need to go through this one. But first, before we were able to do that, or you're able to do that, you need to make sure that you've met all the eligibility here. So in simplifying that, if you go here as well, you'll see that this is a points tested stream visa. So you need to earn 65 points. So there's a points calculator here where you'll see all, like an example where you can try and put in your details and it will give you. So for instance, you're wanting to apply for a skilled independent visa. You're within the age of 25 to 33 years old. You see that, say you have a competent English, which is the minimum. And then you've worked outside Australia for at least 3 years, but less than 5 years. Say you haven't been here, so you have to put less than a year because you haven't been in Australia yet. So if your highest educational qualification is a bachelor's degree, so you put that in. Australia study requirement, if you haven't had that, or if you don't have a master's degree taken here in Australia, if you don't go through obtaining a credential community language, if you didn't study in a regional area here in Australia, and say that you are single, then you say that if you did not complete, let's just see like how many points it gives us. So here you can see that it's 60 points. So at this stage, you cannot apply for a visa with 60 points only. So if you go back, then you'll see there's a way like to do it. If you get a proficient English instead of competent English, you'll see it's 70. So that means at this stage, you're going to be able to apply for the visa or at least submit an expression of interest once you've completed the required documents. Before you start embarking in this journey, you need to make sure that you have the required credentials and that you meet the points, because otherwise it's not going to be worth it. But if you have the required credentials and you know that you meet the points and you have the money to support it, then, and you really want to come to Australia, then this path is really possible for you to do. Just to help you, there's a points table that you can have a look at, and this is it. So you'll know exactly what points you need or what points you'll get per the requirement. And I know that it can be a bit daunting when you look at all the websites and that, but if you're really wanting to come here, then it's worth giving it a try. But just to help you, I've actually created a simplified points table. So you can see here that all the categories where you can earn points pretty much. And you'll see here, I put here, this is the basic eligibility. So as I've said earlier, you cannot be more than 45 years old when you apply for this visa. And then you must have at least competent English. Then you should have an employment experience under the skilled occupation or a closely related skilled occupation that you're applying to. And when you say that you should have been employed, it means that you should have been engaged in an occupation for remuneration for at least 20 hours a week. And because we're applying for the 189 visa, your occupation must be on the relevant list of eligible skilled occupations for the skilled independent visa 189, which I already showed you earlier. And then you should be able to back up your educational qualification in this area. So for points-based migration, you will receive points for your highest qualification only. So pretty much you cannot say that you have this diploma and then you have a bachelor's degree and then you're going to say that it's 25 points. It's not how it works. So it's just going to be 15 points if you have the bachelor's degree. And you just need to take the highest qualification you have. And for your application to be valid, you must declare that you have a suitable skills assessment at the time of invitation. So what I'm saying is once you have all the required documentations, once you pass the 65 points and you know that you're going to be ready to apply for a visa, you need to go to Skill Select and submit an expression of interest. And then the immigration department will invite those ones that would pass their criteria at the time, and then you apply. But in saying that, once you submit something in Skill Select, you should be ready to back it up. So that includes the suitable skills assessment. When I showed you earlier the list, and for the accountant here, you can see here that there are 3 governing bodies that actually can help assess if you're qualified for that occupation or if your qualifications qualify for the accountant role. So you can click any of this and go through the process of having your skills assessed by them. So if you go to, for instance, I'll choose CPA Australia here. Okay, so you can go to just check menu and then become a CPA and say migration services. And then you'll see here migration to Australia, and then it will list down. And I think you have to apply for a migration skill assessment. And then you'd know what requirements they need so they can assess. And you can see here the price. It's $540 Australian dollars. So yeah, so that's the requirement that you need to be able to meet before you apply for the visa. And then I detailed here other available points that you can get if you are short of the 65 points having only this. So you can go through that and you'll see that, yeah, there are some options that you're able to do to get you to the 65 points. And this is normally something that someone here already here in Australia could get, because obviously they give points if you study here in Australia and all that. And they give credit as well for your partner's skills if you have a partner, for one, and if they can meet all these requirements as well. So yeah, so I think it's that. As I've said, it's just an overview, and it's just a form of encouragement to anyone who's considering coming here to Australia on a permanent basis, and just to say that it's really possible. It can be done if you want to do it yourself, but it will definitely help to have a migration agent or a professional help you along the way, because they know more about this. I'm just showing you the requirements in a snapshot. And yeah, I hope this helps. And if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Just comment down below. I'll be providing the link to this on the description. So yeah, hope I'm able to help you in my own little way. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate if you hit subscribe and like, and comment if you want me to post something else. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good one. Bye.